This is showing me that you have no brand identity. This is showing me that you are far away from your roots. This is showing me that you do not respect where you came from. Therefore, you cannot have any sort of understanding as to where you're going. Because find me one person on here that understands the creator economy. Find me one person on here that's made $1 million with streaming, with YouTube, with Instagram. Find me one. So you guys that have been following me for a while, since the beginning of 2020 or the end of 2019, know that content creation and streaming and making YouTube videos and TikToks is not my full-time gig. I've been in the operations side of businesses and mostly startups since 2016, but I've been involved in shaping startup companies, whether it be really taking products that are unrefined and making them more polished, coming to companies that need assistance in reshaping things and making things make more sense. And so that's been my last several roles. And I think we've all watched the dumpster fire that is FaZe Clan, and you can see what's happening in the media and then what people are saying. And then I can apply that to my own previous experience and be like, oh yeah, that makes perfect sense as to why this is not working. The easiest way to explain it is there is an identity crisis currently. So what got the company to where they were is not what is currently driving the company right now. And the first thing that stands out to me, 500 million social media reach. That is insanely misleading. This is not FaZe Clan's channels. This is an aggregation of everybody that is under the FaZe Clan banner. This is Nick Merckx. This is Swag. This is people who have massive audience, FaZe Rug. And I'm sorry, I don't want to single anybody out and make it like they're not contributing to the team, but not every single piece of content that they make is focused on FaZe Clan. So not only is it misleading to put out that number, but it's dangerous because the insinuation is that we can leverage 500, half of a billion people when we need to. Fucking false. Just straight up falsehood. You can leverage a fraction of that because that's your actual audience. This is an aggregation of the audiences that are under the banner of FaZe Clan. Okay, here, we'll talk about this. They don't talk about any of the core members, any of the OGs at any point in this timeline. Group of young trick shotters. That's it. Okay, and this is an investor pitch deck. I get it. So they're trying to resonate with people who are going to give them money. I get it. I got it. But it shows me that you have departed from your roots, and there are certain aspects of the business that you are trying to sweep under the rug, pun intended, when you don't talk about your founders and the people that got you to those numbers. 100 million total followers before Lee Trink. Without his help, without fucking major investors. Come on. Like, when you don't show some sort of gratitude to what got you here, that's a major issue for me. That's a lack of identity for the current company. Okay, I remember the Sports Illustrated cover, and I felt like that was significant. But the rest of this is like, so what? And I understand these key moments do not include original members, because they are purposely not participating because they do not want to take part in this current iteration of the brand. Fine, I understand that. But they're still like, I think Rain is in the DC one, but this is all, I'm relatively sure this is all Nuke Squad. So, I mean, like, you are so far away from your roots. All right, this is another key point right here. This is showing me that you have no brand identity. This is showing me that you are far away from your roots. This is showing me that you do not respect where you came from. Therefore, you cannot have any sort of understanding as to where you're going. Because find me one person on here that understands the creator economy. Find me one person on here that's made $1 million with streaming, with YouTube, with Instagram. Find me one. They are deciding the direction for the company. They are making executive decisions about what sponsorships, what partnerships, what acquisitions to make, who to hire. Focusing on this, because this is the reason that they're failing right here. They don't know, they don't know what the product is. They don't know how to leverage the product. It's like, all right, figure it out. You're smart. You went to Harvard. It's like, what? I mean, sure, the nuts and bolts, and I'm sure the operations people, it's like a business is a business is a business. But you can't just apply broad entertainment experience to this. This is a new thing. I digress, but this is, if you want an example as to why this is failing, this is it right here. Cross-platform actions. Sure, they are characterizing this in a really misleading way. And this is going back to the dynamic from earlier where they are taking credit for a following that is not theirs, that does not contribute to the health of the business. FaZe, they're calling them athletes. I mean, this is just all over the place. I just don't even know what to make of this. How are you're not a sports league. You're not it is just transcended esports and gaming to rank along the sports brands. And then they're saying they're a lifestyle brand. I mean, they just don't really know what they are. And this is a big point of what I'm trying to make today. Nobody really knows what the creator economy is yet. It is still nascent. It is still evolving. And how do you monetize it long term? Because I don't think these orgs are esports organizations fundamentally. I think there's something else. I don't think they're a lifestyle brand. I think that's yet to be determined. And I think the long-term efficacy and approach and product of these businesses is yet to be determined. How do you leverage that long-term? How do you turn that into multi-billion-dollar multinational company? This is not it. This isn't it. Like, compare us to the Lakers and to WWE, and like, people know who you are, but that doesn't mean you're making money. Clearly, you're hemorrhaging money every single month and every single quarter. Future state, like, how? This is your bread and butter. This is your bread and butter right here. You don't make this jump. I don't think. I think you leverage what is available to you with YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. You leverage this. How is there an audience for maybe there is an audience for a documentary, but it's the same people that you're not currently catering to. So a linear series, I don't know about that. There is no audience for that. That would be shocking to me if people would tune into that. Music, if you're working with existing artists, maybe. Podcasts, I think there could potentially be some value here. But that is going back into the platforms that you already have. But I mean, that's already available to them right now, like having it on Apple Podcasts and all of that and Spotify. TNT and Nickelodeon and Netflix and HBO, like what? Maybe, okay. Gaming content on something like Nickelodeon, maybe. But if it's like this cheesy reality show type shit, absolutely not. But if it's, how do you iterate on the New York house? How do you iterate on trick shots and montages and shit like that? How do you make a Netflix show based on that for 2024 or 2025? That's the challenge. I'm not saying I have the answer. I think some of these might work, but like TNT, come on. Okay, I feel like there needs to be less focus on this because it's losing them money. Every quarter, every month, every year. I think you take it to your core 4 or 5 leagues and you move on from everything else. You have to. Call of Duty League, CSGO, and Valorant and Fortnite. And I think you have to maybe Siege, but I think you back away from everything else. And that's really it. Those are my thoughts on that. But you can look through this presentation and see why things aren't working. Everywhere you look, it's look what we have, but they didn't build it and they don't understand it. And that is going to hold them back until they make massive structural changes. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I figured I'd mix my passions of gaming and content creation and my work life. So if you guys like that, leave a thumbs up. I'll see you next time.